Bratt, just wondering how, obviously summers are long. You guys have been here for a little bit, but to actually get out on the ice with coaches and do it, how does it feel to be back out there?
Oh, it was a lot of fun. Just getting out there and had a coach around and skate with all the guys. It's a lot of fun. It's exciting that everything is up and rolling now, and I think today was a great first day, and I think Group A really set the tone.
One of the things that Lindy said a lot last year is the success you guys had was because of how you approach training camp, how you guys compete in training camp. How much is that an emphasis to understand what you guys were able to accomplish last year started from this day?
Yeah, I mean, this is where it starts. This is kind of where we set the tone for the whole organization and every single practice. And I mean, the way we play the games are starting in practice, and how we take care of the puck in practice and how we battle, and make sure that we set the standard to make the game feel as easy as possible. So obviously training camp is a great first time to kind of get into the structure, but also feel out each other a little bit and start competing.
Talking about feeling out each other a little bit, a little chance to play with Tyler Toffoli there. What are you learning about his game, and what do you feel he can complement your group with?
Oh, it's been a lot of excitement around him, and obviously in the captain skates too. He's an extremely smart player. Reads the game extremely well, and like today in practice, he really slows the speed down a little bit, and really reads the game really well. So I think right now, together with me and Jack, I think it's a great player to play with, and he set us up there a couple of times in practice too. So it was a great first day, and I'm excited to play with such a great player.
What do you think holistically of the moves this offseason? You know, not just Toffoli, but Nosek and the re-signings, obviously our own re-signing. What do you think of this offseason for the team?
Yeah, obviously we took another step from last year, and we added some new core guys, and we also added a lot of great depth that this team is going to need to go forward and be even more successful than we were last year. So I think our whole group really felt that the moves that were made this offseason, the additions that we got in, really strengthened our team. So it's going to be exciting now in the next couple of days to get all these practices going and preseason games, and see how this team is going to be.
How was the off-season training? Did you work out with anybody notable?
Everything was good. I had a new workout coach that I worked out with this summer, and we were a pretty small group, but most of the focus were put on me and my own development, and also had my brother there to push me through, and it was a great off-season. I feel like I had all the time and all the details to get better and improve from last year, and take the next step.
You work out with Holtz too, and how you see his development kind of coming along.
Me and Holtz have skated a lot this summer, and obviously I think he had a really good summer. I felt already in the skates, and kind of the notes that I got from guys that are skating with us here now in the captain skate already came up and told me that he looks faster. He looks like he has been skating a lot and really getting that high speed and intensity in his game up. So I think it was a great off season for him, and I think he's ready for a great season this year.
There's always the conversation about taking the next step, but what exactly does that mean? How do you achieve that next step?
Well, the next step is always the extra small details that makes a big difference. For my game, it's obviously going to be how can I be a better one-on-one player? How can I beat my guy even more? And how can I create more space for myself? And for example, what are Jack's strengths? What are Nico's strengths that I can add something into that to create more success for us as a line? And those are all the small details. And it's going to come into how do I get stronger, faster, all of these normal things that everyone talks about every day. But when you get to this level, it's all about small details.
Ryder, have we moved away from the we're a young team mentality now with everything you guys have experienced, age, all that? Is that something that's in the rearview mirror now? Yeah,
we're ready to win. I mean, we started that already last year, and this year is going to be even tougher. So we're going to face an opponent this season where everyone is going to see us as a top team and wants to win against us. And I mean, that's just the kind of pressure that we have always wanted in this organization, and we have worked hard to get that respect from the rest of the league, and now it's up to us to answer it and kind of get together as a team and really become this championship team that we've been talking about.
Is that what Coach Ruff's message was to you guys entering this camp? What were his initial words prior to starting this camp to the team?
Yeah, it's been very similar things as I said, and I kind of took my words a little bit from him too, and it was really to build this, to continue this brotherhood and this competitiveness together, and really come in every day to push that bar and to take that next step as an individual and as a group to become even better and learn from last year, and take all those things that we did so great last year, and I think we set the tone with that day one.
Is the Carolina series still sit with you at all, Jesper, with the team in general? And is that something, you kind of looking back on and saying, well, this is what happened, this is what we need to do better?
Yeah, of course. I think that's what you have to do. You have to always see the positive things, see what happened, what we did good, how can I improve that, but also you have to find that drive and that motivation that we still have a long way on the mountain to climb to get to the end result, and that was a series that made the season end for us. So obviously that kind of sat with me for a long time, and it was a big motivating factor for me in the off season to see it as one part of my game to improve.
First impressions of Travis Green, obviously another new coach coming in. Have you chatted with him, and what do you sort of take from what you know about him, what he can bring to you guys?
Yeah, we had a few discussions and stuff, and we talked on the phone this summer and just talked a little bit about the power play and all that stuff, to how we can improve, and it's gonna be a great time getting to know him and start working more with him, and going into more detail and start working a little bit on the video and all that stuff. So I think the longer the camp goes on and into the season, we're definitely going to talk a lot more and getting into more details.
Thanks, Brad.
Thanks, guys.
Jack, feel good to be ready to go for training camp after a long summer now and being out on the ice?
Yeah, feels good. So definitely nice to get day one under our belt, especially at like under 10 in the morning, so it's nice.
For you, obviously, the way things ended last season, you weren't feeling great. How are you feeling now, and at what point during the summer did you feel that you were at a point where you wanted to be?
Yeah, I feel good now, obviously. Had a lot of time off, so feel good heading into camp, and, mentally I'm really excited to get going on the year.
Jack, you had a fantastic year last year. Do you feel that was your peak? Is there more to Jack Hughes?
I mean, I'd hope that's not my peak, I'm only 22, so I'd like to continue to get better each and every year, and I know there's going to be years where maybe pucks aren't bouncing the way I want it to, but I feel really good with where my game's at, and I put in a lot of work this summer, so mentally I feel really excited and ready to go, and then obviously physically I put the work in.
Any particular areas that you worked on over the summer that you stressed?
No, just same old, man. You got to keep getting better. Every aspect for me, and obviously my game, I gotta continue to develop each and every aspect of it. So I know that's such a generic answer, but it's so true.
Was it tough cutting the flow?
No, my hair grows pretty fast. So there's a couple times, but
There's always a talk about taking the next step for the team and for you as an individual, but what exactly does that mean, and how does the group do that?
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, we're in day one of training camp, so no one's going to make the playoffs on day 2 of training camp or day 3, so we just got to take it a day at a time and, enjoy the process and, continue to get better as a team, and then once the season gets going, we'll really dial it in.
What was it like seeing Tyler Toffoli out there today, and what does he bring?
It was good, yeah. Obviously, it's day one, so I can't give you a whole book on him, but obviously he's a great player. He's had a lot of success, and then, I know him as a guy pretty well. He's a good guy. My brother played with him and enjoyed it, so we're really excited to have him here.
Jack, when you saw, Timo and Jesper re-sign this summer, kind of what message did that send to you about, the bought-in kind of nature of this organization?
Honestly, no message. I think, we gave them both $60 million, and they're great players, and they fit in well in our team, so I don't even think it's a buy-in. It's more of they fit in well here. We wanted them back. They wanted to be back here, and we're really happy to have them. So I think that kind of definitely fills in our core, and I think our core is definitely finalized now, and whatever else we bring in is probably like an add-on piece or whatnot. But I think we feel really comfortable with our core group, and obviously the guys in that locker room.
Was there anything different about this summer, knowing you were going to be coming into training camp with Luke, or was it just more of the same over the summer with your brothers?
No, just more of the same. definitely like something we've been looking forward to for a while. So the fact it came around, really exciting, and you know, he trained really hard too, and he should have a tremendous year. So we got a great team, and we got the players to back it. So it's exciting.
You guys push each other a little bit this summer?
I mean, yeah, more than a little bit. That's what we do in the summer. It's how you get better.
At the end of the summer, who won the pool championship?
Luke, I think he is the winner with like 220 wins or something crazy.
That's absurd.
Yeah.
What can Travis Green bring to this group?
I don't know yet, honestly. I haven't been able to talk to him too much, but I know he did a good job with Quinn out in Vancouver, and you know he's the guy that played a lot of years in the NHL, so for sure he knows a thing or two, and you know Bruno did a good job with us, but we're excited to have Greener here, and you know I'm looking forward to talking to him and getting to know him a little bit more.
What did it mean for you to see Quinn get the captaincy in Vancouver?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, anytime you get to like Don and see is an experience and an honor that not many people know about. So for him to do in a Canadian market as well, and you know, it's really special and just shows the character and the kind of person he is. So as a family, we're really excited for him, and you know, I think we know he'll do a great job, and I think the Canucks organization, they really believe in him, and you know, that's what it's all about.
Shooting for 100 this year?
Am I?
Yeah.
I mean, no, I don't think so.
Curtis, obviously, you know, we talked last year when you came in, it was not the debut with the Devils that you wanted by any stretch. How does it feel now to have a summer, be healthy, be here with your family, most importantly?
It's awesome. You just said it. I'm healthy. Full family's out here, so it's all hands on deck. But you know, being able to come to the rink, knowing that everything's taken care of, just kind of, you know, puts my mind at ease, allows me to focus on the game a bit more. So I'm excited for the season for sure.
Was there a point during the summer where you felt you were at your 100%?
Yeah, I mean, pretty quickly. Again, so limited minutes after the season and hopping into the rehab right away to kind of get back up to speed. But you know, as soon as our little guy was born, mid-June, then it was, you know, let's ramp this up because, you know, life's good. So again, very appreciative that, you know, and thankful that my body's healthy and, you know, allowing me to kind of compete at my highest potential now.
How's the family? How's everybody?
They're fantastic. You know, my little guy loves the city. You know, we got the dogs out here and everything, so my wife's getting back into the rhythm of me being here more than at home, but it's awesome.
I know you said that getting the Bulldogs here would be a huge challenge for you. How did you do it?
Yeah, my wife takes full credit for that. We found a pet transport company out of Florida, out of all places. Called them up, said we need our dogs to get from Seattle to New Jersey. They picked them up. Within 3 days, they're out here. So they're enjoying the city too. So they're used to new houses all the time. But it's great having them there because they are a big part of the family.
When you talk about that extra level of energy that you can bring now that, you know, you're feeling fully healthy, what does that kind of look like from your perspective?
Yeah, I think just more dynamic all around the ice. You know, I trust my body more. We don't have to think. Coming out of turns is kind of like, you know, is my knee going to give out again or what the deal is? But no, pace of play and everything. The game's so fast now, especially with this team. But kind of inject that energy, be strong on the puck, and really just help out where's needed. So I feel good in all aspects of my game, and it's a matter of just putting it to the test.
What do you think of a guy like Nosek coming in? Obviously, could be on a line with you. What do you think of his acquisition this summer?
Nos is great. I mean, me and him were hand in hand in Boston for the entire season. I don't think I saw the ice without him that whole season. So to have him back here, it's great. He's a great player. You know, similar games in the sense that we're more defensive first, but we have that chemistry. He's a great guy, and, you know, and he's here to win. So he's enjoying getting used to everyone, used to the systems, and I'm glad I'm able to help him out too because I do have a bit of a, I guess, familiarity with the systems.
What can he bring to the faceoff circle in particular?
I guess the difference, I mean, it's a pretty good faceoff team, especially with Mikey. He's a right-handed shot, but Nos is kind of that, you know, left-handed shot guy. But all throughout this lineup, and guys are good on the faceoffs, and it's good to see teams take an emphasis on that because it does make a big difference. And the team, with how dynamic offensive we are, you know, we want the puck, we want to possess it as much as we can, and the faceoff's the first battle of every sequence. So if we can start with that puck, it's going to allow us to, you know, open the game up a bit more.
Obviously, the roster's a little different than when you first got here. Have you had the conversation about what your role is going to be this year?
I think first line power play. That's about it. No, again, like, you can bring in whoever. It doesn't really change who I am. So that's kind of nice too. You come in here and you're kind of not guessing, you know, where you're going to be, what you're going to do. Still a winger, still a centerman, whatever you want to do. But, you know, my main focus is face-offs when need be, keep the puck in my net, insert some physicality and energy.
Curtis, I know you joined only midway through last season, but one of the things that Lindy said all year long was we really set the tone for ourselves, not for the rest of the league, for ourselves in our training camp. You're a veteran in this league. How important, although tenuous can a training camp be, but how important is it to setting that tone for your own group?
It's big. I was talking to Brendan Smith this morning kind of about it, and the amount of training camps you go through, that number climbs up pretty quickly. But there's, different ways of approaching it, but you want to hit the ground running, and like you said, this team did such a good job of laying that foundation last year, so it's not a matter of reinventing the wheel, it's picking up where we left off. Do we have more? Are we, looking to get to, reach higher heights and all that stuff? Absolutely, but you got to look at the day ahead of you. So today, first session on the ice, good pace. You can see it's fun to be out there again. Summer's over. We're starting to play for keeps, but this team, they're motivated. We got a lot to prove. We got our feet wet in the playoffs now, and now it's a matter of taking that next step.
How does it feel to finally, obviously there have been captain skates, but to get a first practice with this group and be now involved again?
Yeah, no, it's been today was a lot of fun. I feel like the past 2 weeks being here has been good, getting to know all the guys, and everyone's pretty much been here. So. Getting the first day over with, getting on the ice with the guys and the coaches, it was a lot of fun.
What was your understanding of who this group was last year and what you can bring to it and who they are now that you're involved with them and see them on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, I think having the meeting yesterday evening was pretty interesting, hearing what they kind of talked about last year and what their expectations were, and obviously they exceeded them, and I think coming into this year, it's a new step. It's going in the right direction, and I just want to come in and try and fit the puzzle and do what I can to help the team win games and ultimately win the Stanley Cup.
Getting that first opportunity, you're out there with Bratt and Jack. What do you kind of see from what they offer a team and what you can complement there?
Oh, they're pretty good players. I think obviously we only did a few drills kind of as the line, and like I said, the past 2 weeks being able to see them on the ice and just see how much skill they have, and obviously the seasons that they had last year, they want to improve on those numbers and on those wins and everything. So I'm just going to try and keep up to them and do what I can, and we'll see how things go.
What's the thought process when you get traded to a place and there is a player on the team like Jack? Is that something where you're automatically excited to see what you can do with them, or just being a teammate of theirs?
Yeah, I mean, I've been pretty fortunate to be around for a few years now and play with some really good players. So I think just driving to the rink today in general, it doesn't matter how old you are. If you're your first year, your 11th or whatever it is for me, I still had the butterflies. It's like your first day at school. So seeing that I was going to be on the line with Jack and Bratter, expectations are high, and I want to do the best I can, and like I said, just be a piece of the puzzle.
You've moved between teams before, sometimes in season, and now obviously you're starting a new season with the team. What's the difference between starting or coming in at different times of the year?
I think it's nice to be able to set up an apartment and feel comfortable, and have my wife settled in. That's obviously one of the more important things during the season. That's not always easy. So like I said, I've been here for a few weeks now, and just being able to get comfortable with the room and with the trainers and just everything, all those little things, it just makes your life a little easier, and kind of just focus on the hockey part of it all.
You're a couple of weeks removed now, or a couple of months now removed from the trade. What do you reflect on in your time in Calgary?
I loved it. The guys were great. We obviously last year was a disappointment for the team in general, and changes were made, and a lot of changes were made. So I think they're excited for the new opportunity and the fresh start there. And for myself, I'm excited to be here and join a really good group of guys, a young team that's looking to make some noise and do some special things.
You had about 10 games with Travis Green when you were in Vancouver. What was it like working with him then and now having him with the Devils?
We had a really good relationship. We stayed in touch over the years too, which has been good. So talking to him in the summer, we kind of joked around a little bit, saying that we're back together and excited to work together again. So we'll see how everything kind of turns out.
In addition to your style of play on the ice, the GM and coach talked about your leadership and what you might be able to bring later in the season, playoff time. As a first-time player here at the Devils, what is that going to look like for you? Are you the type of player that's still going to say things that are on your mind? How does the leadership work for you here, your first year at the Devils?
Yeah, I don't think I'm always, the loudest guy in the locker room, but I feel like it's one of those things where guys know, I've been around, I've been on some really good teams, I've won, I've lost in the finals, so I think it's one of those things early on this season, just kind of see how everything kind of is. I'm not going to step on anybody's toes. It's one of those things where I think the leadership and the way this group is in general, everyone can step up at any certain time. Doesn't matter if you're Nico or if you're a young guy coming in and trying to make the team. So I think just in general, it's an exciting time, and for me, I'm just going to go out there and play and try and do whatever I can on the ice. And if there's something to be said in the locker room, it's one of those things where I'm not necessarily shy to say anything. So we'll see how everything kind of turns out.
Very early first impressions, but what do you make of Coach Lindy Ruff and his kind of style, his vision, based on the conversations you guys have had?
He wants to play fast. He we had a meeting this morning just about little things, D zone, and just the way he wants to play. And I think he kind of just explained what he explained last year, how he's excited. He wants everybody to be committed to playing a 200-foot game and playing hard and be committed to the little things on the ice. And I think that's something that I take pride in.
What do you remember about playing the Devils last year? Obviously, a very fast-paced kind of style. Were you kind of winded after the game a little bit?
Yeah, it was early on in the season, so it was one of those things where nobody knew what the team was really about yet. And obviously, they continued their success and did some pretty special things last year. So I think playing against them last year, like you said, they're fast. They played hard. They not necessarily were hitting or those little things, but they're always on the puck, and it's a frustrating type of hockey to play against.
What did you learn as captain of Canada for the gold medal game, or for a gold medal team, I should say?
You know what? It was a lot of fun. It was cool. It's a great experience. I was saying it over there too. Just being able to represent your country, and then obviously when they named me as captain, it was pretty surreal. It was a special moment for myself and for my family, and being able to do that with really good friends with Luch on the team and Tyler Myers and Uyghur and the list goes on. And I think being able to win was like the icing on the cake in general. It was a lot of fun, a lot of hard work, but a lot of fun too.
Has there been any conversations about an extension?
I talked to them a little bit, and it's one of those things where we just want to see how the season starts and kind of go on from there.
Did you talk to Blake Coleman about coming out here?
I did not talk to Colsey. He does his own thing in the summer, but I think during last year he said that he really enjoyed it. I think my wife talked to his wife actually about where they lived and all those little details. So they definitely enjoyed their time here, and they had conversations for sure.
Are you settled in the area?
I'm all settled now, yeah.
Did Colsey get you on pickle juice?
No, not on pickle juice.
V, does it feel good to be back in a competitive mode with your teammates? That's with coaches and all that getting ready here.
I mean, for sure. Like it's nice to be back. Have had the first practice, and then just grind again.
What was the summer like for you? The way things ended, and maybe what your focus really was heading into this year.
I mean, in the summer you're trying to relax and then get ready for the next season. And then same thing, work on the ice, work off the ice, work on the head, and then that kind of stuff.
One of the things with last year is it was the most you'd played. You really were that consistent guy in net. What did that teach you maybe a little more about your position and who you are on this team?
I mean, trying to helping the guys winning the games, like every single game, and then just be calm and then not panicking, like see the guys, like I can help them in the net, and then I know they can help me.
Did you kind of ramp up the reps a little bit this summer versus other summers, knowing your role here and how much it increased?
I mean, you're trying to, like, I will say, you feel in the summer good, so I did the same thing what I did before. I'm not trying to change anything. I think just trying to work on my head.
Is it easier coming in for a second year as opposed to last year? Everything was all new.
For sure. I mean, the people, the guys, so it's more easy.
You say work on your head.
What do you mean, and how did you do some of that this summer?
Mentally, with the people. Yeah.
Is it different coming in, being the number one guy? This is the first time in your career you've come in as the incumbent. What makes it different?
I mean, it's a tough question. You never know if you will be the number one or not. You have to grind in the camp, and then you're gonna see exhibition games, and then you're gonna see what's gonna happen, and then start there.
When you look back at last season, like, what do you look back at that you think you need to do better than the most?
I'm not looking back.
No, okay, that's good. I like that answer. But so, what do you think you have to improve it the most?
I mean, I don't want to prove anything. I want to start new season like new guy.
How about the partnership with Akira and what that's going to look like?
I mean, Akira, it's great guy. He's a little bit quiet, but he starts talking a little bit more. But he's a great guy. I can complain a bit about anything.
The term "next step" is used a lot in the NHL. What does that mean for you and for the team?
Sorry, one more time.
The next step, taking the next step.
Oh, okay.
Season, what does it mean?
Yeah, I mean, we have to focus on the season first, get to the playoffs, and then I feel like the next step is gonna be in the playoff.
Any hibachi this summer?
No, we don't have that in Czech too much, No, in Czech.
Looking forward to getting back to it.
That's good, Like I said last year, they closed the place, so I don't have that anymore.
Sorry to hear that.
That's okay.
Vanecek, when you talk about, you said before, with the mental aspect of the game, did that hit you more at the end, towards the end of last season, where mentally it was a little hard or more difficult for you to focus on what you needed to do?
I don't think so. It was just tough time for me, in the playoffs, but it's what it is, and then I just try to change something, and then let's see if it's gonna help or not.
And who did you kind of lean on this summer to talk to about it as a sports psychologist?
No, I have to do it in Czech, like it's hard to do it in English if you're talking about the head. So I'm doing that with Marian Jelinek. I don't know if you know him, but he's working with Mrazek, Jager, and with these kind of guys, so try this guy.
What was your most enjoyable activity during the summer outside of hockey?
I mean, I was playing a lot of golf. It's nice to relax, like thinking about myself or get with friends, so that kind of stuff.
What's your handicap? Golf.
16.